Alright, it's the number 154 of my accountability to myself, and I appreciate everyone's attention who watches this. Today I have two ideas that I would like not even to reveal, but actually to mention at least, because I think it's pretty straightforward and pretty simple to understand, and it's crucial to understand because it also might give some useful perspective. And at the same time, as I already mentioned in my previous videos, that the best way to learn is to teach someone. So hopefully I will be able to explain some of my observations, and therefore this information will be internalized even better. So first, probably I would like to mention how this week was going on, how this day was going on, right? Because today I slept less than 7 hours, and in the morning I didn't really feel that tired. I thought I can operate sleeping less than 7 hours, but having my mock exam, because in the morning I had only one class, that was mock exam, I realized that I'm so sleepy and I would like to sleep. And the thing is that I didn't really prepare to that mock exam. Even though I didn't prepare, I got 13 out of 20 right answers. And the thing is that I literally knew everything. So I could get 20 out of 20 and I made 7 mistakes because of my inattentiveness. I was just rushing. So there's a question. It explicitly says, for example, uh, the value of coupon, the value of bond. For example, the company issued bonds, right? Some securities, and we're talking about bonds. There's a bond. Price of this bond is 1,000 euro, and every year you are getting a payment of, if I'm not mistaken, 100 euros for this bond. And the annual interest rate is like 4%. And the question was, what is the present value of those $100, of those 100 euros that you're receiving every year today? So, for example, you're receiving 100 euros for 5 years. Annual interest rate is 4%, and you need to find this price. Obviously, it's not 500 because we have annual interest rate, and we need to include that every year. For example, after the first year, it's gonna be 94, 96. After 2 years, by and large, it's still 100, but you understand my logic? Because of inflation, you have still the same amount of 100 euros, but your purchasing power is lower because of inflation. And so, for example, if today you can buy a specific basket of products with 100 euros, in a year you won't be able to buy exactly the same basket with products for the same amount of money. Why? Because of inflation. And we need to include this, especially when we calculate the shares and bonds, to understand what is the real price. Does it worth to invest in those securities? And the question was, what is the present value of those payments that you are getting for the 5 years, of those coupons? And what did I answer? I answered the price of this bond and of those coupons that you receive. So I knew how to calculate it. I just over calculated because I included something that I didn't need to include. And I didn't pay attention to this just simply because I was inattentive. I didn't read the question carefully. I felt like, oh yeah, I see numbers, I see the question, all right, I know what I'm supposed to do. And yeah, that was wrong. And I did 7 this type of mistakes. And it's so weird because I've been always making those weird mistakes, and I've been always frustrated. Especially I remember in school when I had the math exam or something like that, and I actually knew everything, and I was pretty sure everything is correct. And then when I get my results, I see that my grade is lower than I expected, and I see so stupid mistakes. Like, I knew how to solve it. I was just rushing, or I was just inattentive. I forgot like to uh, remove minus or something like that, and it posed the whole answer, you know. And I did those seven type of mistakes. One or two questions, probably I didn't really remember how to solve correctly, but what I mean, like at least 18 I could get. It's just my inattentiveness, so I just need to be more attentive, especially during the exam, because actually it's the subject where I would like to aim 16 plus, or even if we are talking about my ambitions, I want to get 20 out of 20. We will see, but the thing is that I didn't even prepare. Like, of course, I attended each class. I was reading my conspects. I was sometimes even working at home, but I didn't really repeat anything before exam. 2 weeks before exam, before this mock exam, I didn't repeat anything. So I forgot some information, and still I knew like everything, I would say. Oh yeah, there was one question that I got confused, and I wouldn't be able to solve it. But anyways, so that's the first thing. After that, I went to the gym. It's insane. I don't know, training legs when you sleep less than 7 hours. That's one of the hardest things ever, because I had a hard workout and at the same time I wanted to sleep. And I don't know, it's such a hard combination. Then I returned home and I wasted almost hour and a half trying to rest for a while, because I felt that I'm about to pass out. All right, so I was lying on my bed, I was scrolling or something. It was complete wasting of time. I don't remember, maybe I watched some YouTube videos, something like that. And then I decided that I need to take a nap. About 30 minutes I tried to take a nap, but actually I listened to music, and I think I had only 5 minutes nap, and 25 minutes I was just lying with closed eyes and listening to music. But what I mean is that I wasted probably the whole day. I actually studied some French, and that's it, because I actually felt way lighter when I returned home, because today I didn't have meetings, I don't have projects that I need to finish. Everything is done. Only in 1 week I will be having exams. I have enough time to prepare. I will start preparing since next Monday, and I almost don't have anything to prepare because I know pretty much everything. So yeah, but still, to revise everything, go through all the information. Of course, I'm gonna do this, but today I just actually wanted to feel this, that I'm not obliged to do anything. I need to waste this rest of the day. I didn't even regret. And the thing is that, for example, that I want to mention, one of the important things that I noticed, what's wrong when I actually try to follow my schedule and I fail? Like, why? Why sometimes it's not working? I think it's because I don't take enough responsibility. What do I mean by that? When I schedule my day, I have just tasks. Like, you are supposed to do this, and that. That's it. And normally during the day, I have some kind of delusion. I have some kind of thoughts that, all right, I still have time, so I don't really need to rush. I still can do something minor, and then I will finish with my tasks, right? And normally I never finish them. So the problem is that I need no I think I said my tasks wrongly, because when I said that I need to study French for 1 hour, no matter what I do, it's gonna take 1 hour. But instead, I need to set a task. For example, I need to go through one topic in the book, I need to write one text, I need to watch one video that I wanted to watch, and I need to repeat my words 5 times. I don't know how long it's gonna take. It might be 1 hour, it might be less, it might be more. It depends on me. It depends how effective I am, how fast I'm studying. And when I realize that it depends on me, I can easily start it because I know that I don't have fixed time. It still depends on me. It depends how fast can I finish it if I want to finish it fast, for example, right? And also think I need some more structure. For example, in the morning, I have, for example, 3 things that I would like to do in the morning is journaling, because it's been a while since I was journaling, I think at least a couple of days. Even though I wanted to journal every day, then I want to read 5 pages of book. Sounds not really a lot, but still it's book in English, so it's gonna take longer than a normal book. If it was a normal book, probably I would read 10 to 15 pages. But still, yeah, 5 pages to read. Again, not 30 minutes, but 5 pages. And I don't know how long it's gonna take. Maybe it's gonna take 12 minutes. Maybe it's gonna take 40 minutes if I want literally to dive into some idea to think about that. And then I want to execute one task related to my internship that I was supposed to execute 2 days ago. I have not done it yet, so I'll try to do this in the morning. And I wrote that I have 1 hour 30 minutes top. So I'm even limited. I cannot spend more than 1 hour 30, so I need to be more focused with this stuff. Yes, that's basically what I wanted to mention. Then I have rest of my plans, but probably I'm gonna mention about that tomorrow. If I succeed or not, I will definitely share with that. And so the next thing, one more thing that I also like to mention, I think it's something already aforementioned on my channel. I think the other days I mentioned about this, but I'm gonna repeat this and I'm gonna read because I want to convey this idea properly. I don't want to just trying to talk from my head because I'm gonna lose some details. And yeah, just listen to that. If you set yourself a task of throwing a stone into the water every day for 100 days, then keep doing it. If you forget to do it on day 20, don't say, I will throw two tomorrow. Go back to that place and throw the stone. Don't say, it makes no sense, I should do something else. And don't throw 100 stones at once. None of those methods demonstrate persistence or strong character. On the contrary, they reflect emotional behavior and an inability to stick to the process. And the same thing happens when people start learning a language. It's just an example, or going to the gym. Instead of making a steady pace for 100 days, they rush on the first day, and by the end of the week, they have already given up. And so, what is the idea of what I just read? The idea is that, for example, it's especially related to me. When I start doing something, I feel that yes, I can study 20 phrases, 20 French phrases a day. First day, I cope with, yeah, that's nice. And I think, oh, in a month, I can study 600 phrases in French. I can learn this language so fast. I already cannot do this for the second day. So the problem is that like, for me, for example, I need to set my tasks and keep consistency, not put all the effort in one day. And also I see this problem a lot. No, it's not a problem actually, but when people come to the gym and they in the first day and they're trying to do everything to get as much as possible load. No, for the first time when you come, you need to train, I don't know, for half an hour. You just need to let your muscles know that we are stepping into this stuff. You don't need to overcomplicate it because your brain remembers it, and your brain remembers that it's so hard. And why would I make something hard for myself? We can instead stay at home. We can eat pizza, or we can scroll a bit because it does not require that much effort. And so the problem is that we set too hard, like not we, I set too hard goals that I cannot actually always stick to. And it makes this process way harder. So I need to keep it some easier, some lighter, and then we can just create a habit. And at the same time, you demonstrate your persistency, as I mentioned. Because it's very important, if you said that you're gonna do this, just achieve what you're gonna achieve. I don't need to look for some kind of fucking shortcuts, because over the past half in a year, I already convinced that it's not gonna work. There's most likely no this shortcut. There's probably some opportunity that I might missing, but as long as I don't really use that another opportunity, I need to keep doing what I'm doing. If I said it, all right, I need to do this, and that, then I need to do this, and that for this period of time. If I have some kind of priority for 1 month, I need to stick to this. That's it. Because I don't know, have you ever had this feeling in your mind when you feel like, damn, it's been a while, like it's been a couple of months, for example, I don't know, when you start learning a new topic and a new subjects, let's say, and you think, and you start first day, second day going fine, then you abandon slowly by slowly, and then by the end of the week you've already given up, right? And then in 2 months you remember about that and think, damn, if I was studying for all this time for 2 months, I would already have learned so much. But I have not done this. Like, and you just question yourself why. Because actually time passes through us so fast. And it's very important to keep this consistency, especially when you don't feel like, especially when you think that it does not really make sense, because first of all, it's proved to your brain, to yourself, that you can stick to your promises. Because if you're always setting some kind of unreachable goals or something that you're unable to stick to, your brain just memorizes this, and the next time you just don't believe yourself when you said something. So it's very important to set not something really hard, but something that you can actually stick to. And it's very important. Way more important than threw 100 stones in one day instead of throwing one stone every day for 100 days. Yes, basically that's it. And for example, even in terms of studies, it's why would it be better, for example, to spend for 10 days 1 hour instead of spending 10 hours in one day? Because basically when you sleep, your brain processes all the information, you basically memorize it better. For example, for me, when I tried to learn some Spanish phrases, for example, ¿cuántos años tienes? If I'm not mistaken, it means how old you are. Or yo hablo español, ¿cómo estás? Estoy cansada. All those phrases I remember while asking while asking my classmate how to say them. I couldn't memorize them. In the morning I just woke up and like, oh, I remember this phrase, even though in the previous day I couldn't memorize it. So I don't actually know what's going on in your mind while you're sleeping. This and that is by the way interesting. It's probably something that I wouldn't mind to learn about. But your information internalizes, and for the next thing you remember it way better. That's why always I don't like when my team, for example, when we have a pitch and my team starts preparing in that day when we have this pitch. You cannot prepare your pitch properly if you start learning in the same day. You need to start at least day before, because then after sleeping you actually remember the idea. And so every day, if you're gonna study instead of one day for 10 hours, if you're gonna study, as I mentioned, if you're starting 10 days for 1 hour, it's gonna be way better. You're gonna constantly revise, remind your brain about the information, and through this repetition and through this balanced studying, it will bring you way more progress and way more profit. So it's 10:05 p.m. Actually, for tomorrow, I don't really want to set alarm. I want to let myself to sleep a bit, because the other days I've been sleeping 6 to 7 hours per night, which is not really nice for me. Right, like normal, I think I should have some more. And tomorrow I'm gonna bench press, so I really want to get proper recovery. And yes, so such a long video though, but without being said, I appreciate everyone's attention, and see you in the next one.